Let me ask you something real. Have you ever looked at a woman and thought, is she feeling the same way I am? Maybe she laughs a little longer at your jokes. Maybe her eyes linger just a second too long. But you can't quite tell because she's not saying it out loud. And here's the truth. Most women won't. Not because they don't want you to know, but because attraction, real, deep attraction, often shows up in silence, in glances, in body language. It's not the words she says, it's the little things she does without even realizing it. In this video, we're going to break down those hidden signals, the subtle, unconscious behaviors that reveal what she's truly feeling beneath the surface. Because once you learn how to read them, you'll never need to ask again. You'll know. So stick with me. You might realize she's been telling you how she feels this whole time, just not in the way you expected. You want to know the one signal that reveals more than words ever could? It's eye contact, not the casual glance. I'm talking about that moment when her eyes meet yours, and for a second, time slows down. And then she quickly looks away, almost like she got caught. That's not shyness. That's emotion she doesn't want you to see just yet. You see, science backs this up. Prolonged eye contact activates the same areas in the brain responsible for emotional bonding and trust. It's why two strangers staring into each other's eyes for just a few minutes can start to feel connected, even without saying a word. Here's another clue. If her pupils dilate when she's around you, that's biology talking. It's a physiological response we can't fake. Our eyes literally widen when we see something or someone we're attracted to. So the next time you catch her looking at you just a little too long, don't ignore it. Her eyes might be saying what her words never will. Here's something most men overlook. 90% of what she's communicating isn't in her words. It's in her body, the way she faces you, the way her shoulders stay open. If she turns her whole body in your direction while you're talking, that's not random. That's her showing, without saying, I'm interested, I'm open to this. Watch the small stuff too. Twirling her hair, adjusting her clothes, lightly touching her neck. These aren't nervous tics. They're ancient signals. Ways women often unconsciously draw attention to themselves when they're around someone they find attractive. And when she leans in, just slightly closer than she needs to, that's not about hearing you better. That's her breaking the invisible barrier. That's her closing the emotional distance. Here's the thing. A woman's body will often tell the truth long before her words ever catch up. So if you really want to understand how she feels, stop listening so much and start watching more. Have you ever noticed how she laughs around you, sometimes a little too easily, even when your joke wasn't exactly a masterpiece? That's not just politeness. That's emotional chemistry at work. Laughter is one of the most honest reactions we have. And when a woman laughs more with you, it's often because she feels safe, emotionally open, and, yes, attracted. It's her way of saying, I enjoy being in your energy. But it's more than just the sound. It's how she teases you playfully, adds a bit of light sarcasm, or gives you that look like she's in on a private joke with you. That's not just flirting. That's rapport, real connection being built in real time. Psychologists have long said that shared laughter creates a bond deeper than words can explain. It lowers defenses, builds trust, and when she's close to you, physically and emotionally, while laughing, she's not just having fun, she's investing in the moment, and maybe in you. Let's talk about something most men overlook: touch. Not the obvious kind. I'm talking about the subtle, almost accidental ones, like when she lightly brushes your arm during a laugh, or gently taps your shoulder while making a point. Feels small, right? But trust me, it's not random. Research shows that even the lightest touch can release oxytocin, the hormone tied to bonding, trust, and emotional connection. It's literally called the love hormone. So when she reaches out, even casually, it might be her body's way of saying, I feel close to you. And think about how you feel when it happens. That small touch, it lingers. It makes you more aware of her presence. It shifts the energy. Physical closeness is never just about proximity. It's an unspoken invitation to connect more deeply, not just skin to skin, but soul to soul. So the next time she touches your arm, don't just chalk it up to coincidence. See it for what it really is, an emotional signal in disguise. 6, have you ever noticed her copying your movements just a little? You lean back, and a moment later she does too. You run your hand through your hair, and then she adjusts hers. It might seem like coincidence, but it's not. What you're witnessing is called mirroring, and it's one of the strongest nonverbal signs of emotional alignment. According to neuroscience, when we're drawn to someone, our brain activates what's called mirror neurons. These little circuits cause us to subtly imitate the person we feel connected to, without even realizing it. But this goes beyond body language. It's energy. If you're calm, she mirrors that calm. If you're lively, her energy rises to meet yours. It's like your emotional states begin to harmonize. Mirroring is your subconscious saying, I see you, I feel you, I want to connect. So next time you catch her reflecting your gestures, your posture, even your tone, don't brush it off. It's not just mimicry. It's her way of silently telling you, we're in sync. Here's one of the clearest signs she's into you. She doesn't want the conversation to end. You know that moment when the topic is done, the laughs are fading, the logical exit point has arrived, and yet she's still there. She's not checking her phone, not looking around. She's still locked in, maybe starting a new topic, maybe just smiling and holding that eye contact a little longer than necessary. That's not small talk. That's interest. Psychologists say when someone feels emotionally drawn to another person, they instinctively want to extend the moment. It's not about the words anymore. It's about the presence, the shared space, the silent feeling of, I like being here with you. So if she lingers, if she seems in no rush to walk away, that's your signal. Because when a woman is truly attracted, it's not just about the interaction. It's about not wanting it to be over. Sometimes the real sign she's into you isn't in what she says, but in the way she won't let the moment end. You'll notice it when she starts asking follow-up questions, even after the conversation should be over, or when she suddenly remembers something random just to keep the dialogue going. You'll feel it when she texts you first, or accidentally shows up in the same space again and again. That's not chance. That's intentional connection building. When a woman is attracted to you, she'll look for ways to stay emotionally close, even if the topic's dried up, because for her, it's not really about the subject, it's about you. We tend to believe that attraction is loud, flirtatious, obvious, but often it's quiet persistence, a gentle effort to stay in your world a little longer. So when she finds reasons to keep the moment alive, to stay engaged, to be near, don't miss it. She's not just being polite. She's saying, I want more time with you. You know those moments when you run into her more often than makes sense? The hallway, the coffee shop, the gym. Again, it feels random, but it's probably not. When a woman is truly interested in you, she'll often find subtle, unconscious ways to be near you. Not in an obvious or pushy way, but in a way that says, I want to exist in your orbit. Psychologists call this exposure frequency. The more we see someone, the more connected we feel. And women instinctively use this to their advantage. Maybe she takes the long route just to walk past you. Maybe her pace slows when you approach. Maybe she catches your eye and holds it just long enough to say everything without words. These accidental encounters, they're not accidents. They're quiet strategies to stay on your mind without ever needing to say, I like you. So if she keeps showing up where you are, don't just call it fate. Recognize it for what it is. Interest, wrapped in subtlety. One of the deepest, most overlooked signs of attraction? Vulnerability. When a woman opens up to you, really opens up, it's not just a conversation. It's a form of trust. She's not just talking about her day. She's sharing her past, her doubts, her fears. The stuff that's real, the stuff she doesn't show just anyone. This kind of emotional exposure is powerful. It means she sees you as safe, someone who won't judge her, but hold space for her. And here's the thing. Women don't risk vulnerability unless they're emotionally invested. It might be subtle, a quiet, I've never told anyone this before, or a text that says, I just needed someone to talk to tonight. When she seeks your advice, your perspective, or simply your presence during difficult moments, you've crossed into significant emotional territory. That's not small talk anymore. That's her letting you see the unfiltered version of herself. And if you're there, it's because you matter. Here's what it all comes down to. Attraction isn't always loud. It doesn't always come with a confession or a big obvious gesture. More often than not, it shows up in silence, in body language, in the space between the words. The signs we've explored, eye contact, laughter, subtle touch, emotional openness, they're not just random behaviors, they're emotional signals, unconscious cues her body sends when her heart is speaking, even if her lips stay quiet. And once you learn to notice these patterns, you won't need to guess. You won't need to ask, does she like me? You'll know, because you'll be paying attention to what most men ignore. That's the real power. Not in chasing answers, but in understanding the language that doesn't need words. So next time you're with her, watch. Listen, not to what she says, but to what her presence is trying to tell you.